negative outside media reports on the tribe is not a good sign. And I'm worried that we're going to start going down a really bad path unless we change. And I know people are tired of that word, but I'm really worried that things are going to get much worse. And I think a lot of that depends on who you put on council this year. The very fact that this election is as nasty as it is, and like I said, I'm basing this mostly upon social media because I don't really know what else to base it upon. The fact that the election is so nasty, to me, is a huge red flag for the overall state of affairs for the tribe.
Okay. Let's go to Brenda, then Ann, and Kathy.
Okay, so you gotta separate it out into socially and economically. I think we're blessed in many, many ways. One example that I can think we're doing really well in is our community garden. That is just so amazing, and to me, it just soothes my soul that we're doing something like that for the community. The part that bothers me though is Patty, who does it, is spending hours and hours and hours. Like I would guess 30 hours a week volunteering in it, and not a lot of people are participating in that. So that makes me sad that our community that's there and can participate doesn't participate. So I think we're blessed in many ways. I think we're oddly secure in our money that's coming in. It seems like we can't, it seems like people have this opinion that we can't fail. The money just keeps rolling in no matter what we do. That worries me. I don't think they should have that attitude. I think the tribe is unsure and divided culturally. I think our culture means a lot to some of us, and I think our culture doesn't mean anything to some of us. I think our tribe doesn't participate. The majority of tribal members don't participate in any way, and I think that goes back to a sense of belonging, and so I think that we're failing on both sides. We're not trying to find a way to get them to feel like they belong, and then they're just disconnected. I don't think I had mentioned earlier, we should be a tribe where we're all valued equally. I don't think we value each other. I think we're just really an individual society. We are not focused on community at all. That being said, I don't want to end on a negative note. We do have a lot of blessings.
Yes, we have a nice $500 million portfolio, but to me, I've seen a whole bunch of bad investments take place. I think that $500 million should be $1 billion. And had we invested properly during that swim period, it would be that. But that's not what happened. So I think we're doing well there because we have a good investment company, I believe. I believe it's Baird now. I think they're doing a good job. I believe the community we could do better with our community. We're building all these buildings, but we're building them without a plan in mind. And when you work with city governments or state governments and they do development, they do future planning 10, 20 years out. They don't just do an emergency amendment and say, we need an HR building, $3 million, or 2.7. Probably going to be closer to 3. And there's no plan. When the cities get together and they start building, they take their families into consideration. We don't have a park for our children. And that to me is a concern. We don't have things but yet we are building and building and building apartment complexes, increasing our elders. All of those things are happening and it's good. Yeah, it's great that that's happening, but there has to be a certain amount of development for people that are coming to live there. so they have a good quality of life. And if we're gonna do all that building, we need to take responsibility for that. So I do think that there are some good things happening at the tribe, but I also think we have a lot of tribal members who live in fear. They live in fear for their job, they live in fear for their membership, and they live in fear they can't even come up and talk. They're afraid to speak out. I have a problem with that, and I think we can do more. And I think it's gonna take getting 3 people elected this year to make that change.
Catherine?
The question was, tribal council member said that what's to change? We're doing a great job. We have a $500,000 portfolio, and why do we need to change? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, the word change right now in the political scene is really a bad word at this time. And, you know, I think I said it last Wednesday, there were so many visionaries before, and I'm going to point to Pat Mercier too, that's here today, and having those visions and the staff members all being in the same boat, ready to move forward and do great things for the tribe. I think that we have a reputation. There's certain tribal council members that go outside of Grand Ronde and build relationships with city officials, federal officials, tribes. There's a few of us that go and do that, and we have these wonderful relationships. Can they be strengthened? Yeah. But there's only like 4 of us that will go and do those kind of things. The change that needs to happen, to be very frank, is the change within our own people. And that needs to happen. Yes, we do have a $500 million, but the change needs to come internally with us. And it starts with your tribal council, Russell. It starts with your tribal council that build on inclusiveness, that leaders that bring people together, people embrace ideas. It starts with the council member that's open for discussion, open for questioning. I mean, it all starts at the top, and that's why we were elected as leaders, to do those kind of things. And I don't think that's a lot to ask. I think that being inclusive with our own people is what we need to be. And so, you know, change is, like I said, it's not a very good word at this time. And I don't know if I answered your question, but...
Well, the basis of the question is that a certain candidate said that he didn't understand the need for change because we're doing so well financially. So the basis of my question was, how do you think the tribe is doing?
Well, and
beyond
again,
the financial aspect.
I think that we could do a lot better. I think that I can't remember the last time, I think it was 2009, that we had a social economic assessment of the membership and seeing what kind of things that are really what we need. Program reviews have not been done, which they're supposed to be done every year. It goes back to Brenda talking about the policy. Those are things that we could do different. We need to assess the whole government. I'm not a Republican, but I have sort of Republican reviews that if we're spending a budget on one department that's millions and millions of dollars, and we're only addressing a handful of members, we need to take a look at that. And we've never had those assessments of those departments to see if that's what we need to, where your money should be spent. So, yes, you know, I don't want to say the word change, but I think that there's ways that we can improve in many different ways, working together. And we have to have a council that works together collaboratively. Otherwise, you have this division. And if you've lived there your whole life, if you never went away, and there's a sense of entitlement. If you didn't live there, grow up there, die there, then you're not Grand Ronde, and that's just so wrong. Because we are Grand Ronde. We don't have to live in Grand Ronde to be Indian or to be Indian people. So it's a little skewed, and I think that
Kathy?
with the success all of us working together, we can do that.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys each 2 or 3 minutes to make a closing statement. Since we started with Kathy, we'll end with Kathy. So we'll start with, no, I'm sorry, we'll start down here. Start with Chris down on this end, and we'll work our way to Kathy, so she has a moment to catch her breath and take a moment here. Chris, 2 or 3 minutes, closing statement. Why should people vote for you?
I don't think I'm gonna need that long, but
Take as much
anyway.
Anything less than 3 minutes.
You can sing a song.
Okay, yeah. Well, like I said, I wouldn't be willing to walk away temporarily from what I've been doing for the past year if I had a lot of confidence in what I saw going on at the tribe right now. I really think that there needs to be major alterations, readjustments. I'm gonna do this without saying that word because I'll get beat up if I say it. Reforms in how the tribe governs itself, and I really think that starts with input from your membership and reforming your constitution. It's been the same constitution for 30 years. I do not believe the tribal council was intended to have this kind of power. I've been informed that in the past, the council used to run a lot more decisions by the membership, and now it just seems it's something that, now that I'm not a council member, I'm a member, it seems like something we only get to do every few years. I was really disappointed that the constitutional amendment got canceled earlier this year, because I think that was something that the members have been wanting to voice their opinions on, even though it was different from what they indicated in the surveys. I really think that at 30 years, we need to start rethinking how we govern ourselves with people. I think we need to empower our membership and give them a bigger say in decisions of note at the tribe. And I think that needs to start right now, after this election.
I think that we're all up here with the common interest of the tribe at stake and stuff, and I think we're all doing a fine job up here of defending our way of thinking and for the future, basically, because that's what it is. It's a way of thinking for the future, and our way of thinking is more peaceful, and I feel is a lot better for the tribe, for the future of the tribe. I also feel that other people's way of thinking is going to be harmful and is not going to be for the best interest of the tribe for our future. And I think that that's the #1 question that every member ought to ask themselves. Who will do the best job for the best interest of the tribe? You know, and also I feel that, you know, you're right, it will take 3. You know, and I think we have to look at those 3 that we're going to vote for and hope that they can work together and complement each other. There's, you know, for instance, there's areas where Chris is really strong and I'm really weak. There's areas where I'm strong and he's weak. And it goes for everybody here. Well, weaker. But, you know, and it goes with what I was saying is about working as a team and as a unit to achieve the goals that we put before us. And, you know, and I feel that, you know, I would step down if we had a unanimous 3 to go forward. I would have no problem knowing and having the confidence in those 3. Thanks.
So this is my 4th time to run for tribal council. So I've had many opportunities to share with you my skills, my experience, my strengths, my passion for the tribe. What I really want to talk about now is, and I've mentioned it, I think in all of the questions and all of the forums, I just am really concerned with the behavior and the interactions of our current tribal council. I've sat in so many meetings and watched the rolling of the eyes, the sighing, the talking while somebody else is talking, and I've seen it from many of them, and I don't want to criticize any one of them individually. I just want to say that those are the leaders of our tribe. They are in front of us. They are in front of many, many people. And it's just not acceptable. It's not professional. It's not conducive to a strong tribe. So I want something different. I just do. It seems like every year, and I am going to say change. Change, 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 change. Because I want change. And we might be tired of hearing it, but we all want it. So change, bring it on. Change, 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 change. The power to me is, it concerns me to sit in a tribal council meeting and watch the power struggles and the power and how it all plays out. It's very concerning to me, and I hope that everybody's paying attention and watching that. The behavior is a big concern for me. So in addition to change, I'm going to say unity. I'm still with that unity. I'm still after a tribal council that is professional, that is united, that encourage each other. When a new tribal council member comes in, the other 8 of them should be scooping around them, saying, you know, this is kind of how it is. These were my challenges. Come on, ask me any questions. And we should be building our future leaders. Our youth are watching our tribal council. I believe it is the foundation to the rest of our tribe and how we behave. So I just want to encourage you to vote. Please vote. Get everybody you know to vote. It takes 3 minutes and lasts 3 years.
I really think that since nominations has occurred, I've been reaching out pretty regularly to the membership via internet and social media, and recently with sending out some postcards. But what I think, so where I want to use this time right now, I think most people know who I am and what I stand for. And I consider myself a voice of the people. It's who I've been my whole life, and that's the kind of leader I would be. It's not about me, it's about you. So I want to use this time to ask you to vote, to ask you to reach out to your family. Contact them, find out if they're registered, help them get registered. If you don't know how, reach out to one of us. We'll make sure you get a registration form. Get those people registered and make sure they vote. This is a pivotal year, and we need to change our leadership. Thank you.
Ouch, that didn't include me, did it?
No.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming today. You know, it's always a great pleasure to come down here to Eugene. I know that the ABCs and the 3Ps are started the office down here, and it saddens me that there's not an office here anymore. And that was a decision. That was, again, a split. I think that good things could have happened down here had it started, and we supported it. Anyway, thank you all for being here today, and for the folks that came from Portland, all the way from Portland. You know, my closing statement, I guess, to everyone is that this is a paramount election. I've had to run against, I'm running against 2 incumbents, and it's kind of hard sometimes to unseat incumbents, but I think it can be done. And I think one of the important things that we need to do as families, and you know, my family's, I got 10 members that are voting members, is to, what you can do for your tribe is to contact your family members. We have registration cards here, or forms here if anybody needs them. But I just want to say, I think that if we work together, we can win this election. And whoever, these are all good candidates. I would like you to vote for me. I would like to finish this term with hopefully some new candidates that are that have visions in there to go forward and not to go back. So I guess in closing, I would say thank you all for being here, and let's kill this election.
All right, round of applause for Sharon. Thank you all for being here. You guys had to travel a long way as well to be here, so it really shows your seriousness as candidates, and I'm sure the folks here in Eugene that are in the audience really appreciate you all making the effort. Real quick, we will be posting the video of this probably sometime next week. It takes a few days for us to edit and cut it and get it into a size that will fit on Facebook. But on Grand Round Forum, you'll see that we've posted some of the Portland ones already, so you'll see from last weekend they're there. We'll also be posting soon a link for folks to join the PAC. So again, it's a $50 user lose tax credit that every Oregonian has. If you give your $50 to the PAC, you'll then help select which 3 will get the pooled money at the end of the vote. And then we hope folks will support those candidates. But again, your funds also help host these events. These events cost money, and we have to rent the space. So we really appreciate you all doing that.
Fred?
Yeah, quicker.
Can you just donate money as opposed to?
Yeah, if you don't want to go online and donate with a credit card or through PayPal, you can give some funds to Eric. Eric will take your money, either check or cash, and he'll make sure it's in the bank account. We have a nonprofit bank account set up where all the money goes. So at the end of the vote, and after we've voted, we'll see how much we've raised. We typically raise a couple $1,000s, and so it's usually enough to help pay substantially a lot of a mailing. Or some signs. So it ranges from $800 to $1,500 a candidate that we can support. And that's, we understand that you guys have to take money out of your own budgets to pay for that, and so we're trying to offset those costs.
Well, as a tribal council member, I don't take any money. But
Yeah, and many of our incumbents in the past have refused to take money, and that's fine. I think that's a personal choice. But PACs exist in, you go to DC, they all take money. And so, if that's your personal choice, we respect that, Kathy. But we hope folks will take our money because there's no strings attached to it. We don't expect you to do anything other than represent yourself as you've represented yourself in our forums. There was a quick question from the audience. So.
Yeah, when do you make the decision who those 3 candidates that you support are?
Yeah, we try to time it right when the ballots are received. So ballots will probably go out into next week. You guys already got them. So they came out early this year. Wow. Okay. So we'll probably give it another week or so. Yeah. Well, I didn't realize they sent them out already. They usually wait until the end of the month to send them out. So they're out now early. So we'll probably have our endorsement vote probably in a week or so. So if you guys can hold on to those ballots for a while, that'd be great.
On Facebook and other social media, because I know I'm going to go back and I'm going to send stuff out to our family, is there anything specifically you would like us to say or to, hashtags or anything crazy like that you want us to use, or specific websites you want us to point people to? I just want to know how to properly communicate and what you would like us to do.
Yeah, we used to have.
I know that's our own decision, but I also like to hear
Sure.
what you guys have to say.
Absolutely. Well, so in the past we used to have a website, and we had a little bit more structure. We found that it was unsustainable because it was a lot of time, and it's just really difficult. So all we really have now is the Grand Round Forum group page on Facebook. So I direct folks to that. That's our primary source of communicating for the PAC. So we'll post everything there, all the videos. We'll post the results of the vote. And it's important to note that the vote, when we do our endorsement vote, it is completely anonymous. My wife's family on the Navajo reservation have an email account that they only have access to. They review the votes and to send me back what the results are. So no one here in Oregon actually know how each individual PAC member votes. Somebody on the Navajo reservation in Tuba City, if you've ever been there, they know, but they don't know any of our folks here. So it's a good way for our folks to feel, protected, that they're not, that nobody here knows how they're voting. And, we have, typically all the candidates get some votes, even the folks that aren't here. We have 3 candidates that have Ren, for one, this is his 3rd opportunity to participate in our forums. He has refused to ever participate in our forums, but he still gets a few votes from people on our PAC. And so, that's fine. I mean, however people vote, that's the way they vote. And whatever the results are, that's who will get the funding that we've raised. We're trying to be above water and transparent in that manner. So yeah, point people to the Grand Round Forum, please, would be great. Any other questions from folks in the audience at all? Okay. Well, thanks again for everybody being here. It's a beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I guess folks, you'll have ballots when you get home. Thank you.
No, it's always 45 days.
Oh, we didn't get up for this.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good, Eric. I think we're getting more. Is it still on? It is, yeah, stop it.